All right, guys. I'm a little excited today. We're gonna do an upgrade. I waited almost 30 years. I'm gonna finally put the SE forks, landing gear forks, on my Elf. It's sitting right there. It's a 93. I'm sorry, 94, 95, 96 Elf. Double bar cross. You'll see. I've had it on the channel a few times, and I always wanted SC landing gears, but I could never afford it. Huge shout out to my cousin who actually gave me these forks, and they're 1 inch threaded. Now they're not super expensive. They probably run you around like 150 if you were to buy them new, but yeah, I just never I never pulled the trigger on buying them new, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because these look period correct, if that makes sense. They have the hits, they have the bruises, they have the scratches, they have the dings, they have the dents, and I kind of like that. So let me go ahead and pull my Elf out and get it started. All right, it does have, let me bring you guys down here. It does have the old school FSA GT FSA full speed ahead headset that's supposed to keep it from getting loose and tight. So let's go ahead and just break her down and see how it goes. I do need random fact, these are 14 mil. They should be 14 mils. They're not 14 mils. Why are they not? Oh yeah, they are 14 mils. Bolts, axles. You know what? They're nuts. They're 14 mils nuts, and these are Araya wheels, 20.175, made in Japan, laced to Hutch hubs. I did have a Hutch BMX bike that unfortunately I cracked the frame. So after I cracked that frame, I got this frame, and this one's been able to hold on ever since. But these are sealed bearings, and from what I understand, these are titanium axles. I could be wrong, but if I am, let me know. Go ahead and take off 6mm stem bolt. All right, the bars are old school GT circle stamps, and you're like, you have GT, you have this. This bike was made with a lot of love, but a lot of spare parts, because I didn't have the money to buy everything at once. So I bought the frame, and I bought the forks, and I bought the, you know, you guys get the idea, right? It was pieced together. Oh, this is really loose. So because it was pieced together, I kind of bought everything that I can at the time I could. And at the time, GT was really big. Like, Mid 90s GT was pretty big in my area, so I had a lot of GT parts on it because of that, and anodizing was really big. So because of the anodizing being big and GT being really big at that particular time, that's why you see a lot of teal or blue, whatever you want to call it, and that's why you see a lot of GT. It's a GT FSA. So let me show you guys really quick the FSA headset. This was like state of the art when I bought it. It has that spring in there and those like shark teeth that keep it locked in place. This was fairly new when I bought it, so some bike shops would sell it but not know how to install it, if that makes any sense, which I was like, okay. So I had to go oh well, as you can tell, it's not working properly because that little spring there is supposed to lock into there, but it's not. It's just kind of rolling around. So kind of defines the point of having this headset, guys, to be honest with you. And then right now the spring should just maybe I didn't have it tight enough. I don't know. That could have been an issue also. But let's go ahead and take it out. Almost there. All right. And these are dyno headset, dyno forks. So my cousin is building a GT, so hopefully he could use my forks. Another thing I'm hoping is that I don't have to remove the bearing race on the SC, but they look completely different. Maybe I get lucky. Oh. It's the way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take off that bearing race. This is different than the one on the dyno. This is very important, guys. So back in the day, we didn't know better. We still kind of don't, and we just used to use the hammer. You see all these little hammer marks? It's because we just used to hit it with the hammer and force it out. All right. So here's a cool way to install bearing races. I use this PCV pipe, and then I just kind of put it in here, and then I just kind of yeah, that gets the bearing race nice and flat. And I did have to change the bearing race, so another thing I do want to do, since I'm already here, is I'm going to go ahead and just clean out the old grease and put new grease in there. And these are the original bearings that came with the headset. So these are holding up pretty good, actually. Still look good. They don't look pitted. It's a little rare on the hubs, on the cups, but it's what you would expect after 30 years. And trust me, this bike got used. This was my main source of transportation for several years before I got a car. Then after I got a car, She still saw a lot of usage. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this Mobil 1 grease on there. And as you know, I'm not stingy with the grease because grease is cheap. So I go pretty heavy with it. And I recommend you guys, you know, go comfortable with your grease, guys. Like, if you feel like you're going too light on your grease, maybe you are. Really sit there and be like, huh, how much is grease? Granted, I'm not using Phil Woods or Park Tool specific bicycle grease, and that's a whole nother situation that we could talk about. But we'll save that for a different video. We'll save that for a different video. I know I've said that before. A lot of people out there, I've been using the same grease for 45 years. I've been using, you know, whatever grease. Just know, like, just like, think about this, guys. Everything and cycling has, or bicycling, cycling, BMXing has evolved. Come on. So I'm sure the grease has evolved too. There we go. So just because you use the same grease that you were using, like me, I still use car grease. You're not technically supposed to, but you know, what are you gonna do? Marine grease. I know a couple of people use different kinds of grease. I'm getting off topic. Let me focus on what I'm doing. Okay, so here you go. Look. So now I have to see how it's clicking. It unclicked. Okay. See if I could get it to click again. I gotta watch the spring because it's loaded. It's okay. I'll take the spring off for now. I do remember, if I'm not mistaken, I bought the FSA headset at one of my bike shops, but then the gentleman couldn't install it, so I had to go to another bike shop. And you're like, well, why didn't you just buy it at the place that can install it? Is because the other guy gave me a better deal. There we go. Okay. Buenas tardes, buenos días. Alright, so this one, as you can see, look, the spring is clipped onto the little notch right there and then clipped onto there. So that should prevent it from backing out. And honestly, I've never had an issue with this headset backing off, even though it came off really easily and never backed off on me during the ride. You know, a lot of my friends would like adjust their headsets mid-ride. I never had an issue, and honestly, I never really took apart my headset because I didn't want to deal with that. And then this one does have the FSA GT cover or cap or whatever you want to call it that goes over that. And this is like really soft aluminum, so I want to make sure I don't over tighten that or cross thread or anything. Another thing is these forks are smaller cap, so I don't need any spacers. I'm just gonna put the top cap on it, and it should have enough threads to grab. Not many, but just enough. And if you could like, you see all the little spots I use with the I used to use just pliers. Once again, we didn't know better as kids. Now we know. Grab the right tool and it helps out tremendously. So there you go. And yeah, let me take all right, so once again, huge shout out to my cousin David. David, the Dino forks I will take to you whenever you need them, because he does want to get his GT up and running, and I did offer to help him and see if he needed any other parts that I had. I would be more than willing to donate / trade. Another thing I am looking for is a DK stem, I'm sorry. A DK stem. This is a DK wannabe stem, I would say. Like, it's not a DK, but it almost looks like it. It doesn't really, but that's what makes me feel better. Makes me feel better, think, oh, it almost looks like a DK. It doesn't at all, and I wish I had one. But once again, the stem, again, I've seen them go for like $120, $130. I don't want to spend that much on the stem, especially because realistically I don't ride this bike as much as I should. All right, let's get you angled here. And again, this is a double cross rear end. So here it is put back together. I got the SE forks, imitation DK stem, FSA headsets. All in all, the bike is pretty much just really nice. I had a moment with it right now because I've been wanting these forks for so long, and now that I finally got them, it kind of brought back some nostalgia for me. Another thing I want to do is I want to redo the wheels. I want to have the wheels serviced. I want new spokes. I want my hubs going through. And honestly, I'm very untrustworthy of bike shops. Not because they've done me dirty. It's just because I've had this bike for so long that if anything were to go missing, I would probably be not too happy. Yeah, that's it. We'll see what else I do to it next.